My lesson plan is learning the United States, and students will do this by going through this Promethean flip chart, and they'll start by learning the regions and then gradually learning the individual states themselves. And by the end of this flip chart, their goal is to be able to correctly place each state in its correct placement, only missing 3 to 5. It is for age groups about 3rd grade to 6th grade, just kind of depending on the difficulty of the classroom. I'll go ahead and start. My title is Learning the States. My first slide is a general knowledge state. It's just a general question: how many states do you know? So before we even start this project or this flip chart, I just want to know how many states do they know. So by doing this, when they walk into the classroom, they can simply come up to the Promethean board and click and drag a star to what box fits their knowledge. So they can know less than 10 states, 10 to 20 states, 21 to 35, or 36 to 50. My next slide uses hyperlink and desktop annotate. So directions say click on the picture to find out the region, then highlight on the website key facts about each region. So we will start with this region. So we click on the picture itself, come back to Promethean, then click this button. This button is desktop annotate, which will take them to the Safari page and let them use these toolbars on the page. So the feature we want to use for this page is the highlighter. So now we're in desktop annotate. Come over, click the highlighter, click a color, doesn't matter what color, and then introduction of the Northeast region. So they could highlight major cities, so then they could write those down for their notes. And then to navigate on the page, you need to go back to the select button. And then they can come over, click Maryland facts, whatever state it follows. They're going to have to use the eraser to erase the previous highlighting. But then go back to the highlighter function. You can choose a different color, and maybe this first sentence is something they really need to know, so they can highlight that. I expect them to go through the region facts and the state facts, because it'll help them in the end learn each state. So now to get out of desktop annotate, we come back to the desktop annotate button, click it, and we'll be back on the slide. So they need to do that for all 5 of these pictures. After that, they will come to this flip chart. Well, this flip chart, the direction says drag each region to a designated area. So this doesn't have the state names on it because I want them to know the regions first, so that way it'll be easier for them to group where each state is. So for example, they'll drag the West region, and then the Midwest region, and then Northeast region, and so on, so until they finish. So once they know those regions, they'll come over, and on the slide they are going to use the magic ink. They will read each of these states and the states color coordinate with the colored box next to them. So they look at the first ones, and the red states read Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, Colorado. Well, based on what they've learned in the previous slides, they will need to identify, is this the West or the Southeast or the Southwest? So they can take their guess. They say West, and then they come to Tools, Magic Ink, and then they will erase. Oh, there we go. And there you go. West is correct. And then for the next one, what is this region? They'll find it's Southeast. This one is Southwest, and so on. So that's the magic ink function. To get out of that, we simply click the select button. And then our next slide, this will help them identify the actual states. So in the previous slide, they got to read the states, and now they're going to memorize the state names. And in order to do that, we'll click on this map, take us a hyperlink to this song. So they will sit and listen to this song. And if we fast forward, we will find that here it is. So from this, this will hopefully help reinforce the state names. And then we go back to our Promethean board. So after they listen to that, they will do this activity where they need to drag the missing name. So in the song that we just listened to, this is the alphabetical order of the states, so they'll need to come in and drag, and they can take turns and just kind of play around and figure out if they can get the states into the right order, and then if they need to go back, they can go back. We can go back a slide and play the song and check their work. And then my final slide is a test to see how much they learned and what we still need to go over. So they will click and drag each state. I found this online. It was already a preset activity, so as you can see, it's very simple. You just click and drag the state to where it belongs, and eventually all 50 states will be covered. For this activity, I really do like the Promethean board. I like how interactive it is. I like how students can have fun and not necessarily even know that they're learning something, because it just gets ingrained into their brains. I think it's great for younger students who struggle with traditional learning, and this helps them memorize, but they're also having fun when they do it. So then when it comes to test time, they can think, oh, well, I did this activity on the Promethean board, or I used the magic ink. I remember what this region is. Another couple lesson plans you can do with this is a math one. There is math functions on the Promethean site itself, and you can like edit the tools to show math tools, or you can do like identifying body parts, or you can do language arts. They could go to a website, and the history, I think history would be a great use for the desktop annotate, because they can highlight important facts, or they can, what they think is important, they can highlight those.